This is just a quick demonstration of my current pedalboard setup. I play primarily in church, and so my gear and tone is sort of geared towards that. I'm running the Iridium currently, and I'm very, very happy with it. I have really nice amps that I really love, but honestly, the Iridium has been outstanding and consistent, and I can play at home at full volume with my ears and not have to worry about it. So I am using David Hillsop's impulse responses. He's got a silverback for the chimes that sound absolutely amazing, so that's what you're going to hear. Signal chain, I've got a Duesenberg Star Player Phonic that I'm playing. That's going directly kind of into this patch bay at the top and then into the GigRig G2. From the GigRig, the majority of these pedals are actually in individual loops that I can control and I can actually reorder within G2. But kind of the pedal order is the compressor, the Pog, the Archer, the Chime, the Jackson Prism, and then the Walrus Audio Warhorn. And then I've got a couple open loops where I can actually audition pedals kind of with that patch bay at the top right corner. And then the warped vinyl and the tremolo. Out of G2, and I believe I have the volume pedal after the overdrives. And then out of G2, it's going through the disaster area smart clock, which sends my BPMs. Signal chain, though, goes from GigRig to the timeline, then the Big Sky, then the Iridium. And then I actually have it set up so that if I wanted to bypass the Iridium and still use amplifiers, I can do that mono or stereo without having to rewire or unplug anything, which is kind of nice. So the amp I used to run quite a bit cleaner and then just rely on drive pedals for overdrive, but since then have started just messing with different settings and really like the way it sounds more broken up with the overdrive pedals. So here is just the Iridium alone without any pedals on. So this is the chime setting. So you can definitely hear it's got a fair amount of breakup and then some room reverb, which sounds great. The compressor, you all know what that sounds like, but I just have it on all the time. And then the main drive I use is the Prism. The Archer comes before that, but I'm just using the Archer to kind of boost other pedals right now. I'm not using it kind of on its own. So the Prism sounds fantastic, really open and beefy. And then add some reverb and add some delay. So yeah, sounds great. I'll use it for a lot of single note and just big chords if I'm playing rhythm chords. And then I have the Pedalboard chime, which is actually set really similar to the Prism, other than it has a bass cut switch. And so I've actually got it set brighter and with the bass cut on, because it's nice to be able to switch over to a neck pickup and still get some really bright chime without it sounding too muffled or muddy. So with the, here's the prism kind of on the neck. Now if I want to kick the chime on, it's nice just to get, you know, low volume on your guitar, just kind of nice jangly chords, you know. I wouldn't really use it on the bridge pickup just because it's, again, super bright. You know, not something that I'm going to use. So, but for like the neck and the middle positions, it sounds amazing. The other pedal that I just actually got recently is the Walrus Audio Warhorn, which is a tube screamer type pedal, but it's got its own bass and treble control, which I love. It's definitely kind of higher gain, more compressed, more saturated, and so this is what that sounds like. Again, that works great for even if you're just doing kind of bigger chords. So yeah, really, really happy with that pedal. I've got another setting on here where I push that pedal with the Archer. All it does is it gives it a bit more gain. And so that sounds... So yeah, and then I've got a preamp boost for each one of these channels on the GigRig has its own preamp, and so you can actually boost or cut input or output, which is amazing. So if I'm playing single note stuff with the Prism, and I want just a little bit more, you know, almost of that saturation breakup. So again, that's just boosting the output of the preamp on GigRig. The other cool thing about the GigRig is that it has, so these are all just presets that I've created. You can set their own volumes, patch order, all that stuff. But then it has what they call stompbox mode, and so you can bring other pedals into a preset, you know, on the fly. And so if I want to add the pog, you know, if I'm playing a big line. So that's just bringing in the Pog. You can do the same thing with like the tremolo. I've got the tremolo actually time synced up with this, so it's typically in time. And then what's also cool is you can use that same strategy to send MIDI signals. So these top 5 presets, I actually don't have audio going through them, but they're sending a MIDI patch change to my timeline. You could set it up to do the same with the Big Sky. I just currently am not doing that. So I can quickly change, you know, from a dotted 8. Or if I want to go crazy, so yeah, that is currently how I'm running a setup. You could go into a lot more time in depth with all these pedals, but you guys know what they sound like. The main thing that I was very, very happy with is just the Iridium and how it responds and how it takes other drive pedals. It does so in a way that doesn't feel digital, doesn't feel fake. It's consistent, super happy with it. Super happy with running the drive up a little bit more on the Iridium and the sound that that gives. So let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments.